Holiday greetings to you and yours from Genevieve's Drugstores. Merry Christmas and a new year filled with good cheer and good health. Genevieve's, a real drugstore.
Look, the year-end special double issue of People magazine with the 25 most intriguing people of 1980.
Let me guess. Ronald Reagan, Goldie Hawn, Mary Cunningham, Sugar Ray Leonard, Robert Redford, Jerry Falwell, Pat Benatar, Lech Walesa, Richard Pryor, Beverly Sills, Dan Rather, Brooke Shields, and a dozen more.
Not bad. Now guess People's extra surprises.
Like how Barbara Walters, Dolly Parton, and other famous people would change their looks, and Army brats who've grown up big like Chris Christopherson, and the losers of the year and the winners for 81.
You read this already.
Every word, and you love every word and picture of People's year-end double issue. It's something special.
93 FM, KDKB, Arizona.
Hey guys, how you doing?
Hey, Merry Christmas, everybody. You're probably the first beautiful voices you're all hearing for the holiday.
Yeah.
Harrison Markos here.
And Elliott Malone. It's a pleasure to be with you.
So excited, guys. We have the 3 a.m. Radio slot on 93.3 KDKB. Thank you so much for the opportunity, guys.
Yeah, I appreciate it.
All right, everybody. Well, Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays. I hope everyone has a safe holiday and is doing good.
Yeah.
This is our first official show on the air. Everything we've done before has been very minimal and recorded on tape, and not much of it has seen the light of day until now. So this is fantastic. Very excited. Almost the end of the year. Almost ready for 1981. Almost ready to ring it in. What are your thoughts on the year, my friend?
My thoughts on the year were, first of all, I remember I was very, very doubtful that Reagan would make it in, but he made it in by a landslide, and I think he's doing a tremendous job so far.
Told you.
Yeah. I was really blown away. I really didn't think he was going to even have a chance, but you proved me wrong, man. You really did.
Hey, we'll see how it goes with Ronnie Reagan. It just goes to show an actor can do a lot of things.
Yeah. And I'm not much for boxing, but that Duran versus Leonard fight, that was incredible.
Sugar Ray?
Sugar Ray, man. I've never seen anyone just bow out from a fight like that. Just say, hey, no more.
No mas.
No mas. It was so funny.
A big thing, I mean, we don't have to be the ones to break the news to you. It was one of the biggest terrible things I've heard in a long time.
Yeah.
Obviously, everyone knows the loss of John Lennon. Mm-hmm. Not even a full month ago. He was one of the best. He was one of the icons. He, in my mind, is one of the best singer-songwriters ever. The assassination of John Lennon really affected me on a personal level, and I think it resonated with a lot of people as well in a really terrible way. It was like losing a friend.
Yeah, it's been very surreal for everyone.
Yeah, that was something I did not expect. Nobody did. And it's a tragedy, and Mark Chapman is a terrible evil person, and the fact that had to happen, I'm so sorry. I'm sorry for the remaining Beatles. I'm sorry for Yoko Ono, and I'm sorry to all the fans that had to happen, because it was just a tragedy. Yeah. And I think it's going to take a long time to fill that hole, and in fact, I don't know if it'll ever be filled, because Lennon left such an incredible legacy of music, and he touched so many lives. I don't know if you saw any of the footage of the people in Central Park, but they did like a big moment of silence for him and everything.
That was very moving. Yeah, it takes a sick person to want to end a life that touched so many people and created so much wonderful stuff.
Yeah, it was very sad. I don't really know what to say. So much has been said about the loss of John. Yeah. I guess I'd like to take a minute or two just to reflect on some of his music, and I'd like to ask you, Elliot, any of the first memories you have of the Beatles or Lennon or anything like that, any of the positive stuff that you experienced with his music?
Oh, I mean, growing up, they were the end all be all. They were everything, and they still are at this point. I think all the musicians that have come after them have all said, I think, a lot of what I do has been inspired by the Beatles. And I think it's shaped the way music sounds these days. Yeah, they really turned the whole music industry in a completely different direction. And John Lennon was, they carried a lot of weight, but John Lennon especially was such a figure, such a powerful icon. Yeah. Not only musically, but politically, he tried to he moved mountains and did the best he could to change things.
He did. He was a big anti-war activist. Just a peace-loving guy.
Yeah.
And I mean, that was evident in his music.
Right.
At a time when the world needed it.
Yeah. Yeah. And to have, have an icon like that get, so thoughtlessly murdered is just, the world's changing. Lock your doors, guys.
Yeah, definitely. And
There's a lot of kooks out there.
What really pisses me off about it, I mean, same as you, grew up loving the Beatles, huge fan. I think they're the best band ever. And I love John's solo work as well. I think, especially with his last album that just came out, Double Fantasy, the John parts, no offense, Yoko, but the John parts were next level. Songs like Watching the Wheels, Just Like Starting Over. I mean, I think he was almost evolving musically, and I didn't know he could continue to evolve, but you could see him transitioning. Yeah. His music seemed to have kind of matured in a way, and I think we were getting away from activist Lennon, and we're getting more into reflective Lennon and kind of self-deprecating, fun Lennon. It's hard to explain, but I do feel like in this last album, his music really evolved. And I was so excited to see the follow-up, and I was excited to see him keep growing through this decade. But that was robbed. We were robbed of that.
Which is really disappointing.
Which is terrible. But the only silver lining I can offer is the stuff that we did get from John. The Beatles catalog, the solo stuff, his message of peace and love. There will never be another John Lennon. And I'm glad we got to have 40 years of him.
Yeah.
He will be missed.
Couldn't have said it better.
He will be missed. But yeah, you're not alone, folks. It was a tragedy, but he'll always live on through his music.
Yeah. Well said.
Definitely.
All right. Well, it is the holidays. Shifting gears.
Yeah,
hard to come out of that.
It is. Merry Christmas, everybody.
Merry
Christmas. It is a little after 3 on Christmas, 1980.
Mm-hmm. I want to dive into film. It's been an incredible.
That is true.
Yeah, time for film.
This whole show of ours, we love to focus on movies. We love to focus on pop culture, but I really feel the core of us is music and movies.
Yeah.
And I agree with you. This year was fantastic for movies. There were some groundbreaking ones this year. I thought last year was good. This year turned out to actually be very, very fantastic as far as the quality and originality of a lot of the films that came out.
Yeah, I was blown away. Empire Strikes Back was everything I could have asked for and more.
It's beautiful.
Of course.
I didn't think you could top A New Hope.
Yeah, me neither.
But that one was, it was right up there. It was so much fun.
It went in exactly the direction it needed to go. And Yoda, what a cool
Yoda
character.
Was funny.
Yeah.
I didn't think I'd be endeared to a puppet.
Yeah, exactly.
I was.
Oh, man.
Yeah, that was really good. I really enjoyed that. And I loved the variety of settings they had, too. All the different planets. Yeah. There was like Hoth. That was pretty cool. And
we got the snow. We got a swamp. We got
and the special effects seemed to be even better. Like they amped it up somehow.
Yeah, they were seamless. It really makes you feel like you're in the world.
They did a great job. I don't know how they did it. I would love to just take a day to go and see the set and see what they did exactly, because the special effects in Star Wars Empire Strikes Back was just unbelievable.
Yeah, I love the bounty hunter, the green armor. I hope he teams up with. It would be so cool to see that bounty hunter team up with Luke.
That would be
the next
awesome.
one. That would be so cool.
Yeah, they did a fantastic.
And I'd like to see Luke mellow out, because Luke was kind of this uppity, angsty teen in the first one, and now he's becoming a Jedi.
He's evolved.
We're on this journey.
He's evolved. Yeah, and I didn't know how it would be with the lack of Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Yeah,
but they did a great job. The cast was great. I really enjoyed the addition of Lando. I thought he was fantastic.
He was great.
He was cool. It was great. There was, I don't want to spoil anything for you guys if you haven't seen it, but who am I kidding? I know you've seen it. It was great. It was awesome.
Yeah.
Poor Han, though, man.
Oh.
Yeah, didn't expect that.
Yeah.
Well,
I think they'll bring him back somehow, I think.
I don't know.
Well, that'd be dark, man.
I don't know if they will. I think it's that kind of series where that may be it for Han Solo. He was a rebellious scoundrel, and
that's true.
He might be gone.
And I know Harrison Ford kind of wants to branch out, so maybe he went to George and was like, "Hey, man, I gotta get out of here."
Yeah, he's going to go places for sure. He has that leading man charisma.
Yeah, totally.
Definitely. I think Carrie Fisher too. I think she's going to be real big.
Yeah. The three of them are the chemistry is really good.
Yeah,
It's
I
astounding.
heard Chewbacca's working on an album with ZZ Top.
I could see that.
How?
I could totally see that.
Yeah. It was a really good year for movies. I do agree.
Oh, and then the big two horror-wise, I guess, were that slasher, the Friday
the 13th.
Yeah.
I thought it was a piece of garbage.
I wasn't a big fan. I'm over the...
I felt like it was trying to rip off Halloween. I thought John Carpenter's Halloween was super original, and that it really took that psycho slasher to a whole new level with the mask and everything. And I thought Halloween was absolutely perfect. And then you come along with Friday the 13th, and you got a hockey mask and a bunch of screaming girls in a cabin. It was dumb.
Yeah, the stabbing people is only one aspect of horror movie.
It's like a knife is scary, wielded by a maniac, but you gotta have a cohesive story and an element of suspense, and it's not just kids, having intercourse in a cabin getting sliced up.
And I guess we're kind of that's kind of a minority view. I think a lot of people liked it.
A lot of people really liked it, and it made me lose respect for the movie and the audience.
Yeah, but the one I really did like that everyone else liked a lot, I think, is The Shining.
I love The Shining.
Incredible.
We actually saw The Shining together.
Yeah.
And both blown away.
Metro, yeah.
It was fantastic. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah, it was the perfect blend. I mean, just talking about how you can rely too much on violence and gore and whatnot. It was a perfect blend of, sheer terror and violence, and then this higher supernatural feeling.
Yeah, there was something about it. I saw it with you, and then I saw it again with my girlfriend. So I've seen it twice. And the second time, for whatever reason, it seemed to draw me in even more.
Oh, yeah.
Even though I knew what was going to happen, just the way Kubrick directed it, it was visually stunning. And I don't know, there's just something about it that makes you want to rewatch it. And it's one of those films that I think is going to stand the test of time. Because I definitely want to watch it again. It was haunting. It was well executed. It was very well acted.
Yeah, Jack Nicholson was incredible.
Yeah, even Shelley Duvall. I enjoyed her performance, and I didn't think I would originally, but she was very convincing. And the little kid that played Danny, he did a very good job, and I think it was just a very well executed story that was based on a novel, but done kind of in a whole different way. Yeah, it was fantastic. It was those two were some of my favorites this year.
I remember I read bits and pieces of The Shining years ago, and it was definitely he took some liberties, I guess, but not in a bad way. Usually, I would say, it should have been true to the novel, but I think Kubrick did the right thing with this.
He's one of those directors that I think has that ability. I think there's a few directors. I would say John Carpenter. I would say Stanley Kubrick. I would say Francis Ford Coppola. The late great Alfred Hitchcock, who also passed away this year. Love Hitchcock. He left a fantastic legacy. He will be missed. I think those are directors that have the ability to take some liberties.
Yeah,
definitely. There's even Martin Scorsese.
Yeah,
I really enjoy his stuff.
Oh, he's great. Yeah.
Raging Bull was pretty cool.
Amazing.
That was good. Taxi Driver, fantastic, classic. I think those are directors that are able to kind of do whatever they want. They kind of have a license to shoot whichever way they desire, based on what feels right for the project. As far as movies for this year, Empire was fantastic.
Empire was amazing.
I really enjoyed The Shining, and those came out the same week.
Yeah,
that was a big week.
That was a big week. I liked Stir Crazy.
Stir Crazy was fun.
Yeah, Stir Crazy was great.
Stir Crazy was fun.
I loved what was it? Gene Wilder.
Gene Wilder's great.
He's hilarious. They're both a great duo.
He's the man. He's Willy Wonka.
Yeah,
he's the best. Richard Pryor too.
Richard Pryor's hilarious too.
Absolutely hilarious. Yeah, I love seeing those guys. I hope they do more together.
Yeah,
they're awesome.
And kind of more of a kids movie. I think you saw this one too. My Bodyguard.
I loved My Bodyguard.
That was a fun one.
My Bodyguard was just my kind of movie. That's the kind of movie that just everyone can relate to on some level. It's kind of the underdog story. It was heartwarming, but it had a little bit of edge to it.
Right.
That was a fun movie.
Yeah.
In retrospect, I also really, 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 really am so glad they came out with Caddyshack. Caddyshack. Oh man, I went and saw it 3 times.
Yeah.
It was beautiful.
Wow.
Did you like Caddyshack?
I love Caddyshack.
Caddyshack's great.
It was the ultimate it ensemble.
Chevy
was just crazy. Yeah.
Chevy Chase is awesome. Rodney Dangerfield. Oh my God,
yeah.
Who would have thought he would transition from comedy to the movie so well?
Yeah,
because this was his first movie, and he's always been a late night presence. He's always been on Johnny Carson. He's been well known for being a comedic personality, but seeing him on the big screen was just such a treat. I think for so many people.
Yeah, it feels like it was almost about time for him.
Absolutely, just a genius. And Bill Murray. I mean, gosh,
Bill Murray's hilarious.
And of course, that I saw with you at the drive-in was Blues Brothers.
Oh yeah, no, yeah. I feel like yeah.
Blues Brothers was a blast. I saw so many Blues Brothers Halloween costumes this past year.
Yeah,
gosh,
always oversized.
Fantastic.
The hat's falling off.
That's one I would like to see a sequel to.
Yeah,
that would be good. We'll probably get it soon. I mean, because that was and the soundtracks obviously too. I mean,
John Belushi's not going to stop, man. I think he's always got something else going on.
He's going to be one of those guys. I think he and Aykroyd are both going to, and also Chevy Chase. All those guys from that era of comedy, from that first year of SNL, who have gone on to do so many big things. Right. I think the sky's the limit. I think the rest of this decade is going to be all about those guys and their films.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. It's been a very solid year for film. What else? What did you not like at the movies?
There was the one we kind of knew it was going to be bad. Oh, what was it with Tommy Lee Jones? I liked Tommy Lee Jones. Coal Miner's Daughter.
Yeah, my thing is the trailer was a little misleading. It wasn't as bad as I thought it would be. But the best part was Tommy Lee Jones.
The only thing I remember from it was just Tommy Lee Jones.
I think it was whatever. It was a whatever movie for me. I don't know if I would care to see it again, but I will say keep an eye on Tommy Lee Jones. Yeah, I think he has.
He had a presence.
He has some acting chops. Yeah, for sure. I think he's going to be one to keep tabs on. Definitely.
Yeah. In terms of, I don't watch a lot of TV. I've been watching more in the last couple months.
You know what just came out that I started watching?
What's that?
Was the new Magnum PI show.
Yeah, I was about to talk about that. Yeah,
fun.
Isn't that cool?
Fun. Yeah. I really enjoy it.
Very cool.
I like the setting. It's all in Hawaii. Yeah. It's like fun, like action. I really enjoyed that.
Yeah, I really enjoyed that one as well.
Very like high octane. Yeah. That's one if you haven't watched it yet, check it out. But I'm sure everyone had advertised the heck out of it.
Very cool, very badass action.
Yeah, really liked it a lot.
Maybe a guilty pleasure, but I like Sanford and Son. I
love Sanford and Son. Sanford and Son is
just a wacky comedy sitcom. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah, Sanford and Son is actually, I think that's a comfy TV show. That's one kind of like It's just, you throw it on.
It's nice to wind down to.
You always have a good laugh. Yeah. It was actually a really big year for TV and movies.
It was.
In retrospect, I think at the beginning of the year when we did our, well, you guys, we weren't on the air yet, but when we did our first, I guess I would say, audition tape, we were kind of commenting on what was on the horizon.
Right.
And we did a whole movie segment, and we talked about some of these, and even back at the beginning of the year, we were excited about Empire Strikes Back.
Yes.
Curious about The Shining. Hadn't even heard the Caddyshack was coming out yet. There were some of those. We knew there were a few summer hits on the horizon.
Yeah.
But aside from a couple here and there, weren't too excited. And this year turned out to be a very pleasant surprise at the cinema.
Right. It really did.
Yeah.
It really did.
Because I thought it was going to be a little lackluster. But there were a few that I didn't even expect, like the Blues Brothers and stuff, where it was just like, oh, that was a blast. My Bodyguard, that was a big, pleasant surprise.
Yeah. Yeah, a lot of bold moves. I think creative media is just kind of doing whatever it wants to do right now, and that's the best thing. Like in Dallas, I'm not super into Dallas, but I know that they like, well, if you guys don't watch it, then maybe I shouldn't spoil this, but the main guy...
Well, they already announced it a month ago.
True.
The big thing was, as everyone knows, Who Shot JR. Who Shot JR. And that was neat. I haven't seen that many people on pins and needles about the outcome of the show.
Right, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, it really brings people together.
It was very suspenseful, and people were freaking out about it.
Yeah, they
really were. People were really freaking out. I guess people had shirts made and stuff. Who Shot JR?
Oh, that's hilarious.
Yeah, should we? No, the people already know. If they care, they know.
Yeah. Sorry, guys.
No, it's okay. We get hyped up about Dallas.
Get hyped up, and it's fun to see people get hyped up. I mean, I've never been so. I personally have never been so invested in maybe a fictional character, but it's cool to see that we've come so far in terms of media.
The medium of television has come a long way.
Yeah.
I mean, my favorite shows growing up, I always enjoyed watching old episodes of The Twilight Zone, obviously. Yeah. And to me, that was the pinnacle growing up. I mean, I would watch those, and I thought, oh, these are wonderful. No, it's never going to get better than this.
Mm-hmm.
Somehow, some way, it seems like things are catching up. Things come full circle.
They really are. Yeah.
And I think people have an appreciation for good storytelling, no matter what.
Yeah.
No matter what. So the quality
Definitely.
of TV shows is definitely
The
going
quality
up.
is definitely coming up.
And also they can do more. Like with the stunts, for instance, of like what I've seen so far of Magnum PI.
Yeah.
It almost seems like on par with like Smokey and the Bandit or anything like that. Like it's even more so, even more extravagant. And I think they're able to have like the helicopters and the Ferraris and the pretty girls. It's almost like taking all the best elements of like James Bond and putting it into this new vehicle, basically.
Definitely.
And I haven't seen that with many TV shows where they've like taken it to this next level of like making it almost on point with a movie.
Yeah, I totally agree.
On
Yeah,
par.
it's very cinematic, right? Yeah, I remember when I was little too. Obviously, Twilight Zone used to freak me out. I remember I watched a lot of Big Valley. I really wanted to be a cowboy. I thought that was the coolest. But then I thought it would grow out of it.
Did you watch The Rifleman?
Yes, The Rifleman. Yeah, all those, a slew of those old Western shows.
That was one I always loved. My dad always loved it. That was one
I thought those were the coolest as a kid. But then I thought, I'd grow out of it. I thought I did, but then, shows like Magnum PI popped up. I'm just like, wow.
Yeah. And I also like watching Chips. I think Chips is a lot of fun.
Chips is fun.
I think Chips because they do have like the motorcycle stunts and stuff, but they also have a comedic element.
Right, which is nice.
And there's some shows like that just, I wouldn't even say a guilty pleasure. It's just a pleasure. You can kind of turn your mind off a little bit, and a big part is the cast. Any show like that, and even with Dallas, you look at that, those are pretty good actors.
Yeah.
Those are pretty good actors. Well, I don't know who's listening right now because it's after 3 a.m., but if you guys are on the road listening to us, I just want to say thank you.
Yeah,
because we got this really great little time when the DJs are switching over. And obviously, it's a holiday, so you guys got plans with your family.
And if you're just waking up now, I hope we're helping you start your day. And if you're just going to sleep now,
good morning, good night, good night, good night.
Hope you get some shine. Yeah.
What sponsors do we have? Don't we have like Drano or something like that?
Drano, yeah.
Hey,
I
everybody,
use it all the time. Actually.
Clean out your drains.
My strip in my neighborhood's got a real problem with it's constantly backed up. So Drano has actually been
that's not good.
Quite a joy. I know, yeah, it's terrible.
Who put the Drano in JR's drain? Who's gonna shoot it out?
Find out next time.
Kirsten or Kristen? Oh, sorry. Cover your ears. Cover your ears. Oh my gosh. Well, I guess before we wrap up, I guess we could do a little bit on music because we are on 93.3.
We are on 93.3.
Since it is almost the new year, I guess we could do a bit of a retrospect.
Yeah.
Obviously, gotta give a round of applause to Lennon, the late great John Lennon for Double Fantasy. That album. Mm-hmm. No offense to Yoko Ono, but the John stuff was the best. That's what people bought it for.
Right.
Yoko stuff, not my favorite, not my cup of tea. But man, what a beautiful! There's some beautiful songs on there. Yeah. Really, definitely. My favorite album, I'd say this year, is Glass Houses by Billy Joel.
Oh wow! Yeah.
Yeah, actually had the honor of seeing Billy Joel.
Yeah,
and that was I'm sad you couldn't make that show.
Cool. Yeah,
but he was fantastic. Boy, so much energy.
Yeah,
so much energy. Boy, still rock and roll to me. You may be right. Boy, that is just a good. Sometimes a fantasy.
Great songs, yeah.
That album. If you guys have not gone and picked up Glass Houses by Billy Joel, buy it immediately. Vinyl, cassette, whatever.
Very rich melodies. Just
it's so good. Yeah. I think it's perfect songwriting.
Yeah, me too.
Perfect. It's like one of the best rock and roll albums I've heard in a long time.
He's very, very sophisticated.
He's fantastic.
Especially in the genre.
Gosh, I really also enjoyed. It's hard to narrow them down. There's a lot of good music this year. A lot of good albums. Against the Wind, Bob Seger. Mm-hmm. That was a tremendous album.
Yeah.
Bob Seger never fails to deliver. Yeah, he does really good. What were some other albums you liked this year? There were so many to pick. Gosh, there were so many good ones.
Since everyone's still freaking out about, Queen, Freddie Mercury, his voice.
Oh yeah,
gorgeous voice.
Yeah, Queen just keep. Another One Bites the Dust, all that good stuff. They just keep delivering hit after hit. They were number one on the charts for a while this year.
Yeah, they really were.
Queen has been.
It's all about Freddie, man.
Freddie has incredible vocal range. He is right on par with Steven Tyler. He is, just the range. He is just absolutely fantastic.
Oh, and I know this may not be manly, but Call Me Blondie. That was actually fun too.
You're not alone on that one. I enjoy some Blondie. Debbie Harry she's adorable.
Yeah,
she's a babe.
Yeah,
for sure. And the whole band though, Debbie. Yeah. Debbie Harry's hot, but like Blondie is a great band.
Yeah.
Yeah, Blinding's really good.
Van Halen's got a very interesting sound.
I love it. Yeah, Women and Children First, solid album. I didn't like it as much as the previous two albums, but still really good. You can tell Eddie Van Halen's trying new things. I love the sound of Michael Anthony and the band. His harmonies. I mean, David Lee Roth, obviously, the focal point, and Eddie's guitar. But Michael Anthony, he's kind of underrated as well. He's fantastic. I love the whole band.
They have a lot of interesting rhythmic stuff going on, too, which you don't hear a lot in rock, where you're not quite sure where the one of the beat is. Very cool. Very interesting stuff going on. With
Van Halen, they're tremendous. A newcomer this year, what was his name? Bryan Adams, I'm sorry. Bryan Adams had a brand new album, came out, and it was a debut. And I was blown away by the guy. I think he's one to keep tabs on. I don't know if he's going to continue solo.
Bryan Adams.
Yeah,
what does he do? I'm not super familiar.
I can't remember the big hit of his album, but I got it on 8-track.
Is it an acoustic vibe or is it?
No, he's more rock and roll.
He's more rock and roll. Check him out.
He's one of those guys. I think he'd benefit from connecting with another band, and I think he might be like. I don't know what. I can't really equate him to anyone. He has an amazing voice. So even if he stays solo, I mean, he might be like another Billy Joel, or who knows? He might connect with another group. And I don't know, but he's one to keep tabs on. I really enjoyed Orchestral Maneuvers in the Dark as well. That's another new band that came out.
What a fun name!
And they've got a very synth-heavy sound. I notice a lot of these bands kind of going for the synthesizer vibe, and I really like it. I think it's cool. I think it's bringing a new sound that we haven't heard before to the radio, and I think it's much needed. I think it's kind of freshening things up a little bit.
Agree.
Those were the big ones for me. I enjoyed Let the Music Do the Talking by Joe Perry Project.
Joe Perry's great.
I was really sad to see Joe Perry leave Aerosmith, but the fact that he's doing something, which is great.
As long as they're still doing work,
Yeah, after Night in the Ruts, I mean, I thought, oh gosh, Aerosmith is done. But immediately Joe Perry's like, no, doing this. And check it out if you guys haven't had a chance to hear it. Joe Perry Project is solid.
I'm very excited to see where music is headed as a general thing, because it's such interesting, different sounds than we're used to.
Another group I enjoyed was Devo.
Devo?
Yeah, they've got some good stuff.
Yeah, they're cool.
Yeah, they've got some good stuff. It's been a good year. All in all, except for obviously the loss of Mr. Lennon.
Right.
I'm really going to stay positive for 1981, though.
Me too.
We've got, a lot of unexpected stuff. I wasn't expecting to be on the air and be heard by anyone.
Right.
So as far as it goes for us, previously we were recording in a shed in a backyard.
Right.
And now here we are on the 3 a.m. to 3:30 slot. And it's really cool to reach out to you guys, and I hope you all have a very Merry Christmas, and hopefully we can ring in 1981 with you very soon and bring you some more content here on 93.3 KDKB.
We'll let some commercials roll for now, but until next time.
Until next time, I'm Harrison Markos.
I'm Elliott Malone.
Thanks for listening.
93 FM KDKB, Arizona.
This is a giant step forward in home heating technology. It's the KeroSun portable heater. You put it in the room you want to keep warm and turn down the thermostat in the rest of your home to cut your fuel bills. All these UL-listed KeroSun models are completely portable and run on kerosene for pennies an hour. KeroSun, the good news in home heating. When do you use Soup Starter?
When the kids eat early, but David's home late. That's when Soup Starter soup is great.
A crispy salad, bread, and rolls, Soup Starter makes a good meal. 5 steaming bowls.
Soup Starter from Swift. Hearty homemade soup for dinner. Just add fresh meat and let it simmer.
At 6:37, I'm out the door. I made Soup Starter soup the night before.
Cook smarter with Soup Starter.
Great soup.
Juliet, you got a great pair of legs. If your legs mean as much to you as mine do to me, you'll love Legs pantyhose. They never wrinkle or sag. Legs memory on stretches out and back for a beautiful fit right down to your toes. Stretching, bending.